Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this featherweight prelim matchup brought to you by Tiger Life Energy. Orlando Ortega is 4 years younger than Dennis Stamp. We talked about his ring rust here. Dennis Stamp, let's see, he's 0-2, giving up 2 inches of height. Both fighters were able to make weight.
It's a pretty decent weight discrepancy there, too.
Still a 4-pound difference, at least yesterday. I don't know how much they blew up to today.
Orlando seems to be on the lighter side of featherweight. Now that could go both ways. That could be beneficial to him because he didn't have to kill himself to make as much weight, or he might be dealing with a strength deficiency here. We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Westbury, New York for Triton Fights 7. Sponsored by Tiger Life Energy, Synergy Pro Wellness, Footlux of Long Island, Can Sports Bar, and Diamante's Brooklyn Cigar Lounge. Tonight's bouts are sanctioned under the auspices of the ISKA. The president is Corey Schaefer. The New York State Director is Tom Sconzo. Your judges tonight, Donnie Carolee, Joel Becker, and Chris Molina. Your scorekeeper is Xavier Syme, and your timekeeper at the bell, Leo Rodriguez. Your referee for the first contest, former world champion Chris the Cannon Wagner. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 3 rounds of mixed martial arts scheduled in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this man is a mixed martial artist standing 5'7" tall. He weighed in at 145 pounds. His record, no wins, 2 defeats, representing Bancho MMA and fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, Dennis the Dark Knight Stamp. And his opponent across the cage, he's fighting out of the red corner. This man is a freestyle fighter standing 5'9" tall. He weighed in officially at 141 pounds. Tonight, he makes his amateur debut. He represents the Hit Pit, and he also fights out of Brooklyn, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, Orlando, One Shot Ortega.
All right, first fight of the night, here we go. It comes in the featherweight division. Dennis Stamp in the white trunks. Orlando Ortega in the gray. Your third man in the cage, referee, Chris Wagner.
It should be noted that this is the novice rules here, right? They have the shin guards on, and there's some modified rules. No striking to the head on the ground.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Once the fighters get to the ground, there are some rules here in New York State. New York State Commission does a wonderful job. As Ortega gets a nice takedown here, fighting for some side control as well.
Ortega looked very calm on his feet and real well adjusted. Like he didn't have any hesitation as you'd expect to see out of somebody that hasn't had any MMA fights.
He looked real calm on his walkout as well. I noticed that myself.
Stamp works his way back to the feet. We're back in the center of the cage. Both fighters look very comfortable on the stand-up. Stamp fighting in the orthodox style.
He's attacking that guillotine a lot. He was attacking it off his back before, now he's attacking it standing.
Looks pretty deep, but I don't know that he has the proper grip to finish it.
It's very tough to finish those guillotines standing without the head in the chest. You know, it's very hard to get the angle to finish. He's working into a takedown.
Forward, we bring up Stamp. He's trying to get his first win of his career. He got hurt a little bit, or he tripped.
Yeah, I think that was a slip. His ankle looked like it rolled.
Both fighters showing their athleticism early on here in round number 1. A few takedowns, a few trips, got right back on his feet.
I like Stamp's control. He keeps attacking on that neck, and it looks like he's almost trying to set up a Bravo here. It keeps you honest on the feet.
Referee Chris Wagner making his presence known. Nice right hand by Stamp. Might have hurt Ortega. He retreats a little bit.
He did. He landed a little uppercut, too, at the end of that combination. Ooh, tagging him again on his way out.
Dennis Stamp making those hands work here in round number 1, landing some big blows. Another takedown by Stamp. Right into side control.
It's It's a nice transition there by Stamp. Looks like he's setting up a Kimura.
Nice, nice.
Stamp's got a, he's going for the submission attempts from every position, and I like his attempts here because they set up other things.
20 seconds remaining here, round number 1. A round that has been, I would say, dominated by Dennis Stamp early on.
He's definitely won the positional hierarchy so far. He's been in the dominant positions. He's landed some good strikes.
That's the end of round number 1. I'll ask you, Eric. Stamp came out, established his hands early on, had a nice takedown, got a few dominant positions. Safe to say that he won that round, correct?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Although Ortega did, I think, landed probably more strikes. Stamp did land the more significant strikes, and then dominated the grappling portion of the round 1.
Dave, as for Orlando Ortega, probably lost that round. Well, we're not, official scores here, but what does he have to do to get back into this fight?
I think he needs to be aware of the positional hierarchy, especially in these novice rule sets. If you get taken down and you're on your back, you're more than likely losing in the eyes of the judges. He didn't sustain a lot of damage due to the rules, but positionally, he was inferior for most of the round. He's got to improve that. They both look pretty composed, though, going into the second round. Doesn't look like they're fatigued at all. Looks like Ortega was just singing to himself. I don't think nerves are a factor for him right now.
One of his corner people might have been singing to him as well. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's a way to relax a little bit.
Yeah, it could be a relaxation technique.
Mechanism.
Get him present in the moment.
Both fighters coming out swinging here, round number 2.
The one thing I do see right now, it looks like Ortega, after he throws, his hands do come low right now, and they are a little bit lower than from the first round.
He got caught a couple of times in that first round when he dropped his hands and he was backing up, thought he was outside of range, and Stamp was able to smack him in the mouth on the way out. And as somebody like a long fighter that does that to my opponents, I know it's demoralizing to always get hit in the face when you're on your way out. Even if it's not a hard shot, they wear on you.
Yeah, it does.
And you saw Ortega, you bring that up, Eric. He went in and he kind of circled away to stay out of range from that Stamp overhand right.
It's real demoralizing when you think you're safe in distance and you still get caught. Yep. It makes you rethink a lot of your offense and defensive strategies.
To Ortega's credit, he's staying super well composed, especially for somebody that it's their first fight. He's moving around, trying to keep his distance, jutting in, jutting out, cutting some angles and things.
His foot movement is very good. His feet are positionally sound. Just the hands are a little bit low. That's the only thing that's of any concern for me right now. Otherwise, he looks great.
There's going to have to come a point, though, when he has to produce some offense here. He's been doing a great job of getting out of the way of the shots, but, he spent the first round on his back for a large portion of it. And he's got to show the judges here that he has some offense, too.
Yeah, and Stamp has been having the octagon control. He's been walking him down. He's pressing the action, and he's initiated clinches and takedowns, and that's gonna pay off in the judges' minds.
He's also throwing big shots, which I think you have to take into consideration. You don't want to get hit with those because they're going to put you out.
Especially not in those little gloves. And that's another thing we talked earlier about ring rust. Having not been in there for over a year and a half, and you get hit with those little gloves, you forget how much they hurt. Yeah. At least I did.
That's why I try not to get hit when I fight. That's my main priority. That's number 1.
We got a Kimura attempt here. That was a beautiful takedown out of Stamp. He jumped on a Kimura and used it to take down Ortega.
I like that. I've used that very move before, Dave.
It's the Eric Ott special.
Kimura, most versatile grip and submission in the game. Maybe he's going to walk around and get an armbar.
30 seconds here. 30 seconds here, boys. Round number 2. Stamp putting
Stamp
some more
for
work.
it.
Got a triangle here, too.
He's got to cross his legs. He's got to get that right leg over a little bit better to get that inverted triangle. It's a tough position here because if he gets
might be able to transition into the arm bar. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that back leg across his stomach.
10 seconds
very
here.
Close.
10 seconds here. Will Ortega survive?
It's a double-edged sword.
Dennis Stamp looking for the first win of his young career.
It's a double-edged sword, that submission there, because if defended properly, you turn yourself, you give up yourself for an armbar there.
Yep.
Another very good round for Dennis Stamp. Doing whatever he wants in there. Take a look at the replay here, brought to you by Tiger Life. Take us through it, Eric.
Now he's able to grab that Kimura grip and sort of get an inverted triangle and lock the legs up. But from this position right here, he needed to really pop his arm out the side so that he could get the torque and the angle on it to finish. Now, we'll see what happens coming up in round 3. If he isn't able to get himself, maybe Stamp will get himself into a position again where he can get a submission. It seems like what he's been going for. That's been the theme of the fight so far for Stamp.
He's gone after that Kimura 2 times already.
Kimuras and guillotines.
We're looking right now at Ortega's corner here. He's getting some instructions here. He's got to go for broke here in round number 3.
I would agree. I think he needs to be
Ladies and gentlemen,
a lot
this is
more
the
aggressive.
third and final round.
Like, he's not getting totally blown out of the water, but he's losing those small positional fights that happen in each round, and he's losing the important ones that in the eyes of the judges are going to have them give the 10-9 to your opponent.
Yeah, in a fight like this where there hasn't been one over-the-top moment that could sway it to either side, if you lose those little positional battles, you essentially lose the whole fight.
Round number 3, here we go. Ortega in the black and gray, Dennis Stamp in the all-white. It's been a fight controlled by Dennis Stamp. He looking to get his first win of his career.
Looks
Hasn't
like
fought in over a
fatigue's-
year.
Looks like fatigue's setting in for both of these gentlemen now. That third round, get the lactic acid in your arms.
Yeah, those final 3 minutes got to be the toughest ones. And I say that with zero experience in a cage. I watch a lot of fights, but I know that these guys, they give it their all, especially in the Triton Fights cage.
I'd like to see Ortega have some awareness. And as I say it, he's getting busy.
Oh, nice 1-2 here. He's got Stamp rocked.
That's what I was looking for. He's got to get busy.
It's almost as if he heard us here in the middle of the round, so he has to go for broke. So a little offense here from Ortega. Nice knee to the head. I don't know if you can do that.
I believe that's illegal, isn't it?
I don't.
Wait, he's hurt. Stamp is hurt, folks. You're seeing a dramatic change of pace here.
Always on the neck. That's in deep.
It's in deep. Ortega looking for the first win of his career, and it's
That's
all
it.
over. Wow, look at that. A come-from-behind win for Orlando Ortega. Down on our cards. Did not matter to him as he picks up the first win of his career.
You have to wonder about that knee. I don't believe you can knee to the head under these rule sets.
I mean, you can't. Chris Wagner was right there. His equilibrium is completely off.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't right after getting hit with that knee. That's what it looked like. But he also had gotten punched a bunch of times before that as well. So
Here comes the knee.
yeah.
If that's not illegal, that's great. That's great technique used by Ortega. And that's a game winner, and it's executed perfectly. But if under these rule set, if it's not legal, then you got to wonder.
Yeah, we couldn't really see if it landed. It looked as if it did land from the angle that we saw on the replay, but I couldn't really tell you for certain.
Well, if it's outside of this, if it's legal inside of this rule set, which we know it's legal and professional, either way, that was beautifully executed. But under the rule set, it could have affected the fight.
And look at Stamp. He's laying down on the ground. I feel like that knee to the head. He looked up at the ref like, what the hell, almost. And then that's when Ortega pounced. I mean,
Yeah.
Ortega, he did what he had to do. I mean, the ref didn't call it.
No.
So he did what he had to do to pick up the win, the first win of his career.
Whether or not it was a legal knee, it was beautiful technique.
Sorry, I'm just looking at fight promoter Chris Machi's shoes.
Oh yeah.
I think he looks like he's ready to go like
Somewhere over the
ride the
rainbow.
rainbow.
Wow.
Yeah,
those
down
are-
the yellow brick road.
Those are very nice. Stamp still down on the ground. I want to get an update on him. I think his team is talking to the commission. With that, let's throw it up to the cage. David Diamante has the official results.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Chris the Cannon Wagner calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 22 seconds of the third and final round. Your winner by rear naked choke from Brooklyn, New York, Orlando. One shot, Ortega.